The Detroit Lions, we saw it when it popped up. When they traded back in the draft, and then they rolled out, and it was Jahmyr Gibbs. That was the play. That came from left field. And I know people stood up on a stage and wanted to take credit for it. You know, it was nobody in the world said go get Jahmyr Gibbs. Mm-hmm. And I'm not allowing that from anybody on this network or anything. Yeah. Nobody said Jahmyr Gibbs. Fair?
Fair.
Yeah. They're like, oh, I said Bijan, that counts the same. No, it doesn't. And okay, so we're past the Jalen Carter thing, okay? I gave you my thoughts on it. Here's the thing that sold me on the Jahmyr Gibbs is, I got to be consistent, right? Like I say, I'm a simp. You got to let the man cook. I can have questions about it. I've been through enough as a Lions fan. I can have questions about it. I've earned that right. I have that seniority. The Jahmyr Gibbs thing, on paper, I'll always go back to when you saw Brad Holmes beat the piss out of that desk after he got him. And D-Mac got compensated to do so. Now, he planted a flag for his guy right there. He planted the flag. Okay, I'm on board with it. It seems a little high for the running back, all that kind of stuff, but it wasn't to him. So, all right, we ride. And I'm cool with it. I'm especially cool with the fact that you got compensated to do it. You basically moved up, because they gave up, pick 102 or whatever in addition to it? Something, I forget the exact number. They basically moved up 70 spots, in one of their draft picks. So they went from having 5 of the first 102 picks to 5 of the first 81. I'm on board with it. They got 34 for it. That's his guy. We ride. You can question it. You can question the running back. It flies in the face of value. But at the same time, we saw Bijan Robinson go in the top 10. And the Atlanta Falcons, they're putting together an offense, right? So there was a precedent to it. For me, if that's their guy, then that's their guy, D-Mac. And I don't have a huge problem.
Absolutely. The first thing for me is writing's on the wall, obviously, for DeAndre Swift. But, so that's still what's going to happen with him is up in the air. But you nailed it, Neil. When you watch the reaction, and we've seen the reaction, the hugs, the Sewells, the Hutchinsons, and stuff like this, but this one was like it felt like Brad Holmes stole something or knows something that we don't, or something that Ben Johnson the conversation last night, right? Always comes back to Jared Goff. And it's about putting weapons and assets around him to keep him mobile. We always talk about protecting him. But, when you look at what this guy brings as far as speed and space and stuff like this, and he's definitely the bottom line. Again, Brad Holmes stoked. The room was stoked. He's their guy. The money's there. Obviously, what Atlanta did, even taking Bijan, I think it was just something that with the trade, with the compensation, with everything, that it was a solid move.
He took his guy and got paid to do it.
Yeah.
So, again, the philosophy, I'm draft capital, right? I'm salary draft capital guy. That's where I live. That's what I'm about. I want all the picks.
There's only 2 guys, we remember this in the first round, 2 guys that he didn't have a shot at, and that was Witherspoon and Anderson.
Yeah.
Right? Other than the quarterbacks, but they weren't on the board. But that's the thing. So the due diligence, that's the big thing too. People don't forget sometimes what you don't do benefits you than what you do. That's what I'm feeling here more than not. It's by not taking one of these guys that they didn't think was part of the future, part of getting to where the Philadelphias are. And we have to accept that. That's the whole thing. You have to accept that because your pick wasn't in or what you thought was going to go or the shiny toy. No, we're doing real men stuff here, doing real due diligence. And it's always more important, Neil, just listen to Dan Campbell. Listen to Brad Holmes. Listen to the coaches, the running backs coaches stuff. Talk about these guys. That should give you more confidence that they know exactly what they got and they got the guys they wanted.
And this will come into play a little bit later when we get into segment 3 of what happened last night, the Jack Campbell era. This will come into play there. Remember this, because I think with what Gibbs brings to the table, and Alex Haggerty says it very well, Swift misses multiple games every year. That's not debatable. It's fact. Running back is an important part of this team. Imagine Jahmyr at the X or the slot, Gibbs running a wheel route or out in the flat. No one's catching him. And versatility. Gibbs brings versatility. And I think that's a theme. And I think, too, if we work backwards on this, if you look at even Penei Sewell, right? You bring him in, versatile. Flip him to the other side to play tackle there. Looks like he did all right doing it. I think that's fair to say.
Caught a pass.
Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson even. You know, he played multiple different roles.
Dude, interceptions, right? Like the fact that he had 3 picks and the way that he did it. You know what I'm saying? And he's only going to get better too. But versatility, you nailed it.
Yeah. So again, be prepared though with that pick. And I keep hearing the rumors. A lot of people are talking about the WoodwardSports.com chat thread that Swift could be shipped out as soon as today. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Like, be prepared, everybody, to get a 7th-round pick for him. Because what leverage do you have? Or a 6th-round pick? And remember this, too. And we do this all the time. And you know there'll be a faction of people when they get a 6th or 7th-round pick for him that go, oh, my God, that's all you could get for him? He himself was a 2nd-round pick who never played. Rarely played.
And I got the Brad Holmes video of him reacting to making the pick in the war room.
Yeah, run that for everybody. Because for those of you that didn't see it, and I don't know if this is right or wrong by me, but this sold me on it. Run it, Spencer.
Stoke not scared.
You could talk over it because there's no sound.
Oh, okay, yeah. So here it is. Like, I mean,
you got your guy. Isn't that when you get your guy?
Yes.
I mean, Neil,
and you're paid
that
to do
looks
so.
like you when you make a 3-footer for par.
Well, depending on how much money's on the line.
Absolutely.
Yeah, depending on how much money's on the line.
Man, papers going everywhere. Double. I mean, that hand's red from that slap on the table. I mean, that wasn't just a tap. That was a hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get it, baby. Get it. Yeah. We got it. Nice glasses, too.
And so, you know, getting back to it, you can debate the position, like the draft number and stuff like that. Again, this is not your fantasy league. Like, their pick was at 12. That's where they moved down to. If there's any question, if you can't get them at 18, then you got to move on.
Show it again, Spenny. I'm going to show you this, where this was Brad Holmes' guy all day long to whatever it's gone back to from far enough back. Watch Dan Campbell here. You got your guy, bro. You got your guy. Now watch Coach go in the back. You know that feeling when your boy just did something good or you got something like you can't sort of believe. Like, you remember when Penei Sewell and everybody was like, you know, that he fell to him and they were happy and it was just sort of like, oh my gosh, it fell to us and we're happy with what they got. This is a different one, but it's all on their game plan, right? All on their game plan, whatever contingency plan that was. I just thought that was exciting how invested everybody is. You know when you get happy for your buddy? You know what I mean? Way to go, bud. And then you sort of stand back and let him take the shine or whatever. And you're like, man, he did it. You know what I mean? Oh, he was right all along. That's his guy.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. MPWMU says that's fake and more fake. But see, and John Jones, WMU, John Jones, I think, says it well. He's out there missing high fives. That means it's not fake. When you miss a high five, that's genuine emotion.
And remember, when throwing a high five, always look at the elbow and you'll never miss.
It's fact.
True.
No, like, look at Tiger Woods and his caddy. They never connected on a high five. All the big putts he made, they never connected on a high five. That to me is a tell that it's genuine emotion. When you miss the high five. Eric Brenner says, Neil, I think the Lions traded back, tried to get cute, and it burnt them. See, Eric, they were compensated to do so, and you'll see it tonight. They're picking 34. Like, they were compensated to do so. And it's their guy. I have a problem with them passing on Jalen Carter. I don't have a problem with them planting his flag and saying this was my guy and I was compensated to make this move. I don't have a problem with that. He's given me no reason to think that there should be a problem. And yes, drilling down, there is some PTSD with the Jalen Carter thing. I'm being fair with this. I'm being vulnerable to everybody. I'm open and honest right now. This is my chair. You know, this is my couch. I'm laying on it.
Hey, you know what's interesting as we get into, you know, what Brad Holmes said and stuff like this? This is villain. You know, we're talking about, this is when the villain explanation, and I saw it in the chat thread. But this, when you go out and you pick your guys and you don't give a shit what anybody else thinks, including the fans or whatever like this around the room, like that, the villain into whatever is like, we're doing it my way or the highway. And I'm good with it.